Hi there. This is going to be a webinar on like pages and how to create like pages. So I'm going to touch a little bit on advertising, but I'm not going to go into a lot of depth because that kind of comes. But I have had my like page for about a year and a half, and I've been running ads for probably like 15 months. I've learned a lot along the way, and honestly, a lot of it for you is just going to be learning, trial and error. You can get information from webinars, and one person that I can recommend, I know that some people I haven't personally done training with her. I've used the Practical Social Media University, but let me go to her. Sandy Krakowski is her name, and she has some really great stuff to if you're interested in advertising. What I want to focus on is I want to focus on showing you all how to create a like page. So I'm going to go to my, so basically here I am at my profile page. And so there's two distinct pages. Your profile page, also sometimes called your personal page, and then your business page, also called your like page. So those are two different things, but everything starts from your profile page. And your profile page is, when you first are a Facebook user, and it's you. It's, so I'm Lori Colvin Wright on my profile page. So you go and you say create page, and you can have several business pages if you want. So the way I set mine up, you can pick different local business, company, organization, or institution, brand or product, artist, band, or public figure. Those are the four main categories that I would choose. So I know of a coach in Canada, and he created his as a local business. And one of the advantages that you can get star ratings for your business from fans. I elected to go with artist, band, or public figure. I know another coach I saw a webinar on, she chose brand or product, and she picked, when she chose a category, health and beauty. But to me, if you are serious about this business and you want to grow, you eventually will be your brand. And so I picked public figure, and I picked coach. And so you basically, then you pick your name. So I had not your average grandma. You might want to just start with your name. So, I'm just going to do this for an example. And honestly, when I started, I actually started with my name. And then I came up with Not Your Average Grandma. So I kind of evolved to that. And I always tell people that's what you do is you evolve, and you might come up with something at a later date. But I wouldn't let that stop. People just like get stalled because they just want, I want this perfect name. And you're going to evolve as a coach. And it wasn't until I did P90X3 that I really became Not Your Average Grandma and really had that idea. So don't let a name stop you. So basically you want to give a little about, because that's going to show up on your page. So I'm going to swing over to my my page, and your about is basically it shows up here. And so I just have sprinkling positive energy and instilling a can-do attitude to anyone who is receptive. And then I have a little link to my website. You don't have to have a website, but this is obviously a good place to have a link to a website if you have one. You can do a blog, for example. That's what a lot of people have websites for, is to blog. And Blogspot is the free one that Google does. And if you want to just do a quick and easy one, I would recommend that. So you just want to put a little bit about, sprinkling positive energy, or whatever you want to say about you that you think is going to describe your like page and what you're trying to represent. And so then you want to create, walk through the steps. You want to have a profile picture. You want it to be a nice picture. I would recommend that you have something that shows you in maybe workout clothes, but a close-up of your face, definitely maybe the top of your shoulders, not something that is with other people, not something that is not a picture of you. You want it to represent you. This is what people are going to see when when you do advertisements, and that little icon next to your like name or your like page name. So add to favorites. You usually want, that'll show up on your left pane on your profile page. preferred page audience. So basically, and then you can skip and go on to tell us about the people you'd most like to connect with. Anyone can find your page, but we'll do our best to put in front of the people that matter. So when I created mine, I don't think they had this, but this is a great way to tell Facebook who you would like to target to in general. And that is great that they do this. So when I do ads, I always target women, and I always target age group, usually like 49 through 59, something like that. And you can target people with specific interests. So, so basically, yeah, it's pretty easy to set up a page. And I guess I just set one up. So, and you can have multiple pages, like I said. So I'm probably going to delete this because I don't need to keep the page. But anyways, so I'm going to take you over to, so that's how simple it is to create a like page. You can have a like page up in less than 5 minutes. So, and then what you really want to do is spend some time on a good cover page. I would recommend not one big block of a page. I would recommend that you put together a collage in PicMonkey. And so you can Google the dimensions. I think it's 851 by 315, but Facebook cover page size. And so basically 851 by 315 is what it is. And so basically you're going to want to go into PicMonkey, and I've done a little thing on PicMonkey before, but you go into picmonkey.com and you do design. And when you get into it, the first thing you do is you set up the size. And so I'll just give you a little quick segue over into how you do that. But your canvas color, just start with white. But then you go here, or you can go to resize, and you get rid of that little check mark, and you say 851 by 315. And that's the size, and you apply that, and then you just pull in pictures. So this little butterfly will let you go to your desktop and pull up pictures of you. And so I have a bunch of pictures, I think I don't know what these are. Yeah, so these are some before and afters. So you just can pull in pictures of, and stick them on and start creating your cover page through some pictures you pull off your desktop. So you want to have definitely a before and after if you have it. You definitely want to show pictures of you and what you're doing and what your hobbies are. And you should have some text that's kind of compelling, like that would make somebody, want to visit your page. So, and then of course you've got to be careful when you do your collage, make sure your profile picture is always going to cover part of your collage here. These buttons and your title are going to cover. So sometimes you have to, when you do your collage, you kind of have to rearrange some of the pictures on it so it'll all work well. And one of the things, and I think the biggest tip for like pages that I want to impress upon you is you really don't want, unless you're a fitness trainer or you own a gym, your like page really shouldn't be about fitness. It should be about your journey. And if your journey includes fitness and you have some pictures, fine. But it should be about you and what your interests are. So my page is about being a grandma, and that's mostly what I attract is other grandmas. And it is kind of a broad category, and sometimes it helps to narrow it down. I've been pretty successful in that market. So, I have a picture of me with my grandchildren. So if you like butterflies, if you like race cars, if you have a passion for decorating, if you have a passion for beauty tips, if you have a passion for clowns, so whatever it is you have a passion for, just think of it this way. You want to attract people like you. And so you want somebody like you to want to go to your page. And if you weren't into health and fitness before Beachbody, then chances are that the people that you want to attract aren't going to want to go to a page about health and fitness. They're going to want to go to a page about clowns. So, and just think about it this way too, is that everybody needs to lose weight, or everybody wants, even people who are at a goal weight they like, they're probably working out and they would like to have a new workout program to try. So pretty much almost, in my opinion, 100% of the people that come to your page will come and be interested in some sort of challenge group, even if your page is all about clowns. So the idea is you want to find people that have interests like you, but at some point, they're going to want to lose some weight. And so your like page is just that. It's an entryway, a portal into connecting with those people that are going to eventually going to want to lose weight. But even if they don't ever come to one of your challenge groups, you're going to want to connect with people that are like you and that you enjoy talking to, that will engage with your posts. Because the more people that engage with your posts on your like page, their friends are going to see it, and they might have friends that want to reach out to you. So you have to be really, and it takes a while to kind of get this to sink in, because everybody's first instinct is to go right up, develop a page about fitness. So make it, and honestly, I started because I'm a really positive person, and I thought, well, what is different about me, or what is unique about me, or what kind of people do I like to attract? And I thought it's people who are positive, and it's people I want to, like I said, sprinkle. This about is the same about that I had before I was Not Your Average Grandma, and that's what I want. I want to sprinkle positive energy and make people think that they can do anything. And so that is, really what, you want to think about what. And so my page was originally just putting up positive quotes, motivational quotes, inspirational quotes. If you look back in March or April of 2014, when I first started my like page, it's totally different than how I do it now. And I kind of learned through other coaches, kind of how you really want to have a lot of you, because it's all about, them buying into you, right? They're fans of you. And so you've got to be, kind of present that. And so anyway, so this is a post I did today. I started doing Menopause Monday. And so I just get real about aging and how, some of the stuff isn't so nice. And I got some, so 466 people have been reached. I had one share, and so far I've had like 8 people, 9 people like it. So, the other thing about when you post content on your like page, and I got this from the Jab, 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 Right Hook book, is you want to post content for your fans. So if my fans are grandmas, they're going to want content about grandma stuff. They're not going to want content about, 20 something stuff. And so what I do is I try to find things that, I obviously everybody likes to get a pedicure, so I got some opinions about that. And one thing I learned too more recently is that you should do a lot of selfies. So, and I found that, and I got really this from Bonnie Engel, who's one of the top coaches, is she does a lot of selfies, and you get really, a lot of people are very self-conscious about that, and they think it's kind of like maybe a little bit of conceit in like doing selfies. It's all about me. But honestly, I have gotten more engagement when I do selfies, and I think what that is that people are really relating that there's a real person behind this Facebook page, and they really feel like they get to know you. And I have had a lot of people recently, I've noticed since I've started doing a lot more selfies, that when people really are, and when I ask them to like my personal page, they are more than happy, because they feel like they already know me, because they've seen so much of me on my like page. So the main point of a like page is to get cold market people, and my goal is always to get my like page people over to my personal page, because my personal page, I do a lot more posting, and I do a lot more really real stuff about me on my personal page. And so to me, it's a funnel. If you've ever heard of a sales funnel, it starts out as people coming here and then get to know me, and then over to the like page. So Talked about good cover photo, engaging content. Make sure the content is yours. So don't go stealing stuff from other coaches. You can get ideas from other coaches, but honestly, if it's not yours, people are, they're not going to connect with you. It's your uniqueness and your originality. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And I really don't post everything that I do on my personal page. I don't post on my I post at least once a day on my like page, sometimes twice a day. But and a lot of the stuff is the same stuff I do on my like page, or I'm sorry, on my personal page. I do the same stuff because a lot of this, there's different people, there's different audiences, and Facebook doesn't show stuff to both your personal page and your like page. So I wouldn't worry about somebody seeing it twice. And if somebody sees it twice, then, it's not going to be a big deal. So, so I pretty much do the same stuff. I might change it up a little bit for the grandma audience. Like I might change the text a little bit. But that is, the other thing is if you get good engagement on something, you should boost it. So, and the reason why you would do that is, so I did last week, Menopause Monday, and it was a funny cartoon like this. And it got, look at 2,373 people. So I had basically 64 people liked it, 27 people shared it. And this is something that would be worthwhile to boost. And what boosting does, and you can just boost this post and spend $5 to boost it. And what boosting a post does is like you can lower this to $5, but it gets your content out to more people. So you start here and then you spread it out, and people who hadn't known about your page before will click and become, so it can increase your likes. And obviously people want to come to pages that have a lot of people liking them. So if somebody sees that this page has almost 5,000 likes, they're going to be more likely to like it than a page that has 300 likes. So that's the advantage of boosting content that has already gotten good engagement. And I actually learned that from another top coach. I didn't necessarily thought, oh, that got a good engagement. Okay. But hey, got good engagement. Now what? You probably want to, maybe spend $5 boosting it because you might get a lot of likes from that. And I don't think I boosted that. I probably should have. So what else do I want to tell you? Oh, the other thing I want to tell you is when you boost, and I'm getting into ads a little bit now, but you can boost straight from this page, but when you do that, you can't drill down on the targeting as well. If you go into creating an ad, so you can go in and create an ad. And when you go to create your ad, you say boost posts. And it says for Not Your Average Grandma, you get to pick, see there's 2 pages now. You pick Not Your Average Grandma. And then it shows you you can scroll through the posts and see which one you want to boost. So I'd scroll down to the Menopause Monday one that I was talking about, and then you go continue. So, and then you can give it a name, and I'd probably call it, Menopause. I'll call it Menopause Monday cartoon. So you just want to be able to go back to it. So then you go back and create. So you want United States, and then I'd probably, still restrict it like 49 to 50 or 60. I could even do it high. If I want likes, just make it higher. I could probably go, higher than that. But always women. I don't ever target men at all. Language, I think English, yeah. So I just do English US here. Demographics, you can pick college. I usually like at least, some college, or I don't do in college, but like at least an associate degree, or you can just do a college grad. And then you can do specific interests, sometimes I do people who So You Think You Can Dance, like, because I love that TV show. So that's really how you kind of drill down into their interests and try to, and then your daily budget, you can keep it at $5 and the rest of the stuff is all good. And so that's how you would target, and spread the word about your website, is just by taking a piece of content that you've posted and it's got good engagement, and then spending $5, and you get a lot of likes that way. Don't do it on something that people really haven't engaged with. Now, what you can do is, if you post something on your personal page and it gets a lot, say you have a new like page and you don't have a lot of fans, and so you're probably not going to get a lot of engagement. If you had a post on your personal page and it got a lot of engagement, chances are it'll probably do good on your like page. So you might want to post that on your like page and then boost it, and then you could probably get a lot of likes that way. And so I want to show you one more thing, because if you create a like page, you're going to be wanting to do challenge groups, right? So I will show you my challenge group. So I always, every month, I do a challenge group invite. So you can go into my photos and see, let me find a recent one. This was my last challenge group invite right there. I did one, let's see, before. This is my last one right here. So, and I actually do it for free groups and for the pay groups. I advertise for both, and I also advertise for a coaching opportunity sneak peek that I do. So, so I use my like page for all of those things. I do the ad a little bit differently for my coaching sneak peek, and I'm not going to go into that. I'll just focus on the challenge group for now. So I basically find a picture I like. I put a little text on it. In case you don't know, you only can have 20% of text on your pictures when you're running an ad, so you have to be careful. There's a tool, it's called a grid tool in Facebook. You can do a Google search on it, but it actually lets you load up the picture and it'll tell you whether there's too much text on it or not. So I use that a lot because I can't really tell by looking at it sometimes. So one trick is, if you use a bigger picture, then you have more space for text. So that's a little secret. So I always say that I always give it a limit, because I want people to think it's exclusive. And I also always say that you will be drinking Shakeology for 30 days, because I want people to know that there's a shake involved. And I also always say that there's a money back guarantee, because I think what's important is that people know that they have to spend money. In the beginning, I didn't put that, and I found that a lot of people thought it was free, and I wasted a lot of time with people who are trying to get into a free group. And some people still think it's free, but at least there's a lot less of them. And then I link it to an application, and my applications are done with a Google form, and Google Forms are free. They're very easy to make, and I just actually use the same one over and over again. And that's what I do. And so one of the things I like to tell people is that some people don't always fill out the application, and they make a comment and they say that they want to join. So for instance, this was an interesting one, because I said, who's your favorite? And people are answering who their favorite was. But, sometimes people just say, I want in, or I want to do this. One says what kind of gimmick this is. But once he let me in. And so what I just say is, great to hear you want in. And I tag the person's name, fill out the application, and I put the link to the application in again. And I do usually get people to fill out the application at that point. Sometimes I'll say, just message me. You can't message somebody until they message you. So I just try to take it out of the context of the comments and into a message or the application, which I can then reach out to them. So what else? A lot of times people say, how much does this cost, right then and there? And I say, just message me and I'll give you the details. And I don't go into any of that there. And then, and I learned this from a coach early on, is never answer what it costs. Just say, you don't want to seem like you're avoiding the question, but what you want to do say is, there's a lot of different prices depending on what you pick, which is true. And so you try to narrow it down for them to the right program for them. But what you're also trying to do is trying to delay the answer and get to know them. And so you're asking questions about what are their goals? Do they work full time? And, kind of, job do they have? And do they have time to work out? And so through all these asking questions and them responding, they start to feel like, they're getting to know you. And then when you start talking about price, it's a lot easier for them to feel comfortable with that. But do not feel discouraged if people who have filled out the application don't respond to you, or B, if they end up not purchasing anything, even though you think they might, because this is just the beginning of a relationship that you've started. And so my goal is, when I invite people to challenge groups, my number one goal is to get them to be my friend on Facebook. And so I always ask them to connect with me on Facebook. And if that's all that happens, I'm okay with that, because now they're on my list and I'm going to go back to them every month. And when I go back to them the next month, I say, if you don't want me to ask you anymore, then let me know, because I don't want to be a nag, or I don't want to bug you, or I don't want to be a nuisance. And nobody ever says that I'm a nuisance. And people always say, check back with me. So, this isn't one of those, if you do it the right way, you're not bugging people. They said they wanted to do this. And if you're careful about how you present the information, then chances are you'll make a friend and you'll have an eventual customer. So hopefully this has helped. I know I went into a lot of detail. The setting up of the like page is quite simple. The basics are all you need. And then once you have the basics down, then you can start advertising for challenge groups and reaching out to your cold market. And I think the most important thing is to know that it has taken me a year and a half. I started my like page basically as Lori Wright, doing just motivational pictures in March, so that's over a year and a half ago. And it's taken me this much time to get almost 4,600 likes. It is the compound effect in action. It takes a little bit of your time and over time, and I am seeing great momentum from my like page now. I struggled with getting Success Club 5 for several months, my first year in the business. And now I'd never worry about it. I get Success Club 10 fairly easily. Plus, I get my husband's account to Success Club. So, you need to not get discouraged. You need to not get disappointed. You need to just be persistent and consistent, and you will have a successful business. And Facebook is absolutely phenomenal on not having to spend a lot of money and being able to build a successful business. So if you have any questions, contact Not Your Average Grandma, and good luck and thank you.